for probably about the past 6 months, I've always wanted to do a vlog style format. Today we're going to go through what I actually do on a day-to-day basis. You're going to spend a day with me. Half my day I have off for hosting a webinar, so I'll go through that. And also half my day I'm at the hospital. So let me give you an insight of what I do on a day-to-day basis. So the first thing I'm going to be doing today is I'm hosting a webinar for Morph training. We're going to be going through inhaler techniques. So this normally takes about 3 hours. Of course, I do this alongside my other roles. So I have the morning off to host this webinar, and I'll be going into the hospital in the afternoon. Good morning, everyone. Today's webinar, we're going to be going through inhaler devices, techniques, and the implementation of the environmental agenda through SMRs. So today's a really exciting session. We'll be running from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm one of the Morph associates, so I just want to talk to you a bit about who Morph are and what we do, and any recent updates with regards to Morph. So our biggest update really is the new Morph associateship. You can join this month and get 50% off. I've just finished the webinar and on my way to the hospital. In the hospital, I will be expected to be in the ILD Clinic, which is interstitial lung disease, and we'll be looking at starting patients on antifibrotics. That's something that I'm completely new to, so I've sort of learned the counselling process over the past few weeks, and it'll be quite interesting because the consultant will be watching me, but a great opportunity for learning nonetheless. So far I've commenced a patient on antifibrotic medication. So this is the first time I did the conversation independently. So I had a few supervised now, and I felt confident enough to do it independently. So the first time I did that. And I'm going to spend the rest of the day making arrangements for patients monitoring after they start on the medication. A question that I get quite often is, how do I manage the MicroPharm stuff alongside this role? And that's particularly, sometimes I use my lunch break, and most of the times I use the evenings. So I'll show you what I do in the evening in order to keep up to date with all the management of the MicroPharm side of things. Just finished after a bit of a long day, but I headed home now. A few things I have to do with the website. So first thing I have to do is update the Teams page, and after I've updated the Teams page, then I need to set up the webinar page for the next webinar, which will be in January. So it's currently about 10 p.m. and it's the only time I've had a chance to sit down and focus on MicroPharm. So one of the things that I found since creating MicroPharm is the fact that you never have an opportunity to sort of stop working, which is something that you have a lot more of when you're working for a company, an organization, an NHS trust. You can switch off generally after 5 or 6 p.m. Of course, there are some worries over the weekend, but generally speaking, you don't have this constant fear or thought process of what comes next. So that's something that tends to happen a lot when you run a business. So there's 2 campaigns that I want to focus on today. The first campaign I want to focus on is gathering feedback. So we're running a campaign where if anyone provides feedback for the previous sessions, then they get a free ticket to the next session. That's particularly important because I really want to know how we can improve our current sessions. So over the next half an hour, I'm working on a campaign of gathering feedback, and over the next hour, I'm developing a web page for our new session that will be running in January. In January, we're going to have a calculations workshop. This is the second calculations workshop, and I need to create the event for that. I need to create the marketing for the event. I need to also create a web page so that people can book onto the event. So a lot of people don't realize that most of these things I do myself. So that's what I'm going to be working on now.